Hey, so as you know, I started studying for developing Bitcoin. Uh, with what I mean, uh, I would like to contribute to the Bitcoin GitHub repository, the Bitcoin Core GitHub repository. And after studying for a while some articles from John Attack, which I have here. So can you see it? Yeah, let me put this bigger. Okay, so I was speaking strictly about these three articles and maybe also this one. I don't remember. I read them all, but those that inspired me and guided me through the first series of Bitcoin video developing videos I did, which is the series about how to build, how to compile all the code available in the GitHub repository. And yeah, all the tricks on how to compile the code, only considering the differences you added, or yeah, a lot of optimization tricks useful in the day-to-day activities when you not only ask for new pull requests, but you mainly contribute reviewing the proposals for improvements, and yeah, where you basically you will use all these tools to work on a daily basis in the repository, on the repository issues. Okay, after I did all this art about how to compile the code from the repository, I had a general reading of all the articles in this blog, and John Attack, which I really thank for these really great articles. He wrote this paragraph about the big picture, with which for him in his articles, in his way of viewing things, it's really important to have the big picture more than having the understanding of only some vertical details. Therefore, he was giving some suggestion how to improve the general comprehension of how to contribute to the repository in GitHub, but in general, how to have a better comprehension of all the technology, all the incredible combination of technologies which contribute to this environment. I like to call Bitcoin more an environment more than a software, or it's a protocol, but yeah, in the end it's working because it's an environment. So what happened is that I followed these advices here. So we have these resources from Chain Code, and they basically are these I'm not sure if it's a company or an association, a research and development center based in New York City. Okay, they focus on the development of the Bitcoin network and adjacent technologies. A critical part of their work is creating a space for those seeking a solid foundation with which to contribute to the Bitcoin ecosystem. So they are famous for this residency program, where you go to New York and they will mentor you. And I imagine these are some alumni or the team. Speakers and mentors, okay. but I have seen they have a really nice alumni in their GitHub. Okay, so this is the research center, and they basically have these learning resources here. John Attack is advising to check the chain code lab study guide, and to check the online seminars. Okay, so as you can see now, the applications for the 2025 BOSS program are closed. This is their main program, and it consists on an in-person experience in New York or also an online experience. So these are the alumni which I was mentioning before. Okay, so as their program is now closed, I'm not sure if it already has been filled with people, or it still has to open the applications. However, as it's closed, I was thinking to make use of these self-paced seminars. And then there's the onboarding to Bitcoin Core, Bitcoin development philosophy, and Rust for Bitcoiners. I just started with this self-paced seminar to explore it. Let me see. So yeah, when you open this, there are many seminars. They're grouped mainly by Bitcoin topics and Lightning topics. Okay, and when you go to the Bitcoin topics, here you can find these sections. An introduction, the SegWit, the mining, the peer-to-peer aspect of it, and the script and wallets. And these are all contents which have a reading part, and then they have a discussion questions part. Okay, so these are all the questions which one should think about when talking about the let's say an introduction to the protocol development. So the first section, the first content, it surprised me in the sense that it's obvious that it should be the Bitcoin white paper. But what happened to me is that I already read it in the past, and I was kind of I wasn't giving it the right importance. So just a second. So I wasn't giving the white paper the right consideration when thinking about where to start, let's say, restudying everything again, because I had my previous periods when I studied the protocol, and I'm familiar with some of the issues and the concepts which are being discussed currently in the community. But as I decided to go professional and become not sure if a Bitcoin developer or something else in the tech world that regards Bitcoin, I was ignoring the white paper. I wasn't considering rereading the white paper and trying to see what are the nuances that now I can observe respect to some years ago when I started to have to cultivate this interest. So I was thinking to dedicate some time in rereading it, and yeah, just going with the statements and saying what are the trying to capture all the implication of each statement, because this is a really short document published in 2009, and it changed, it impacted a lot our world. And this is because, well, of course, not only for the words, but because it was an actual practical project that developed its way itself in the society. It's a historical phenomenon for me. But at the same time, this paper here really inspired a lot of discussions that then led to improvements or ways to interpret Bitcoin's success. So yeah, this document is really important as a reference. I think it's really important when moving in this ecosystem, when trying to argue with people about what can be a good choice for the environment to improve or to ossify some behaviors of the protocol. So let's go. Let's see, you can see it. Yeah. So this is the title, and the title, I've heard many times the title being discussed like a really well refined statement describing in 1, 2, let's say, how do you count this? I will count it 3. So you say like 6, 7, 8 words. Even if this for me will be 1, in that case it becomes 4, 5, 6 words. Doesn't matter. It's not a huge difference, but in less than 10 words, we are saying a lot here. So Bitcoin is just the name, and if you keep it away, maybe it's the only word which is not crucial in this statement. If we take the article A, the undeterminative article, this is a clear distinction between A and D, because here the author is saying that this is one of the existing peer-to-peer electronic cash system. This is a proposal, one of the existing, one of the possibles. So it has been discussed a lot, this figure which described himself as a kind person, patient person, or at minimum with some really good professional ethics, or well, with a really good communication strategy at least. So Satoshi Nakamoto, the author of this paper, with throughout his activity before this paper and after this paper, had this really good reputation about being patient, precise, about enjoying discussing nuances about his ideas, and yeah, this undeterminative article is an interesting choice because in the same period and before, many years before, there were other proposals for this type of systems, and they were presenting themselves as the ultimate, the one. Instead, he was proposing something which he knew it was an iteration of something that existed in other forms. So then we have peer-to-peer, which I will count as a unique word when discussing the sense. And well, it's peer-to-peer means that this is a distributed electronic cash system. Distributed because peer-to-peer is typically a distributed architecture, network architecture, service architecture, I would say. Let's see if we have a definition in, let's see, what is this dictionary, Oxford Languages. Let's see, let's go. But man, how do I open this? Yeah, but where do I click, to see the extended? Fuck you. I will go to this other. So Oxford versus Cambridge. So peer-to-peer it involves sharing files or other resources between computers connected through a network, rather than using a central server. Okay, yeah, it's a good definition, simple, denoting of relating to networks in which each computer can act as a server for the others. This is a good one. Allowing shared access to files and peripherals without need for a central server. Yes, this is it. This is the good definition. This has the same meaning, but in this case, this dictionary is expliciting some aspects, which are those I was searching for. Each computer can act, so each node has the possibility to serve the others. What does this mean? This is a modal verb which implies the possibility that they can if they want. Peer-to-peer is not just computers connected through a network. I mean, sharing is not always something you choose to do. And this may be not only peer-to-peer, this is more the physical aspect of the thing. This can describe also a star topology or other topologies which do not necessarily have a central server. And yeah, like in this case, we have this modal verb, which is really important, and allowing shared access to files and peripherals without the need for a central server. Allowing the shared access to files and peripherals. Yeah, this is all it. But this is the most important part, and this is a word that has been chosen in 2009, and of course it was a really popular word. Let's see, in Google Trends. Google Trends. So I want it for the word explore worldwide. Yeah, worldwide, because we don't know where Satoshi was. So peer to peer. Let's see how much people was looking for this from 2004 until now. Wow, and look there. It had its peak in 2004, and then it had it lost its use in the public, because yeah, all the streaming services appeared, and peer-to-peer I think was really popular among people because of all those services like Emule and uTorrent which appeared. And yeah, like in these years all the socials and the streaming platforms were already taking over the web, so peer-to-peer disappeared as a use as something followed by people. Okay, well, then one can ask why Satoshi used this word, which was losing its popularity among people. And I will say that it was losing its search hits, but I think it's something that people started understanding. Until that point, maybe it was a popular concept only among people in the cypherpunk community. So cypherpunk are activists, activists or non-activist hackers, which will explore many concepts related to public key cryptography, cryptography in general, but not only cryptography. Cypherpunks will be interested also in other forms of privacy protection, rights on the web, but also just people, nerds, which will want to try things out and put a lot of encryption, mathematics in consideration when developing tools and talking about security. So yeah, it was it had a manifesto. It had many philosophers exposing interesting ideas. People like Julian Assange is considered a cypherpunk. In general, they're some really badass boy or girl or whatever, which are really interested in security, mathematics, encryption, privacy. Okay, so it's an interesting choice of these words. Electronic, it's something which I don't think will change too much. Of course, we're talking about bits, so electronic, of course, implies a lot, but it's not a change of paradigm, let's say. Of course, in 2009, cash was still the most popular choice, but yeah, it's not like the focus in this title. I will say that peer-to-peer cash system, so well, electronic cash, I will say that this is also just one word because electronic cash means, you know, with cash you say something that you possess. You refer to cash when you have the cash in your hands, when it can be put on the table. So yeah, in that case, the physical possession. But in this case, of course, as it's electronic, it's just electronic possession. We can change that word cash with only possession. A peer-to-peer electronic possession system. If you change in any other way cash, you will have a different meaning. Therefore, yeah, it's really interesting to understand why this cash word. And for this, of course, there's the Bitcoin standard. Yeah, everybody knows this book in the YouTube, YouTube and Twitter Bitcoin community. And his author is Amos Saifeddin, and he basically compares various type of money, which is not necessarily an equivalent of cash, because you do not necessarily possess money. And it's also discussed the role of cash. So in this book there are a lot of really nice concepts, and I remember from there and other discussions where this word cash was really important in determining as an adjective to Bitcoin. Therefore, the last word is system. If you keep out system, if you take it out and just read a peer-to-peer electronic cash, you may think only this will make you think only about coins, let's say, or something that you really can possess, without considering its nature as a system. So yeah, what I was accidentally mentioning at the beginning of this video is that I consider Bitcoin an environment more than a protocol, which is again it's a really nuance which I'm focusing on. But yeah, I said that Bitcoin is working because it is an ecosystem, not only a protocol, because there are many protocols for many things and many protocols die. Instead, Bitcoin, it's working because its environment, its ecosystem grew up. And here I'm noticing that with system, I'm interpreting it in the same way as a synonymous of ecosystem, not just system. With ecosystem, I consider all the type of stakeholders, of people involved in some way, even the haters, even the people that throw a lot of bad words at this community, they in some way contributed in keeping this thing growing and spreading all over the society, and thinking about it as something which think about it as a system. It's a key, because a system is complex. A system will have many parts which have synergies, and when they combine, they do not have a linear behavior. Many characteristics of this system emerged without any expectation. It's so complex, and at the same time, this complexity is what is making it alive. It's a kind of chaos which can't be stopped. It's like something which has evolved in a way that doesn't make it worth to stop. Nobody has. I mean, somebody has the resources to stop it, but it's not worth to stop a system like this. And we will have this consideration in mind, and we will discuss it later. But it's a system, again. It's really important to think about it as a protocol. Yeah, it's a good way to think. I think it's a way which helps in understanding this. But ecosystem is something that really helps grasping the details, which then lead to explain some of these phenomena that happen around this protocol. Okay, so the title already took me half an hour. I will stop this video here, and I will continue in the next video the rest of the paper. The rest of the paper will not be discussed in such a detail. The title was, I will say, a really nice content to be studied word by word. The rest of the document will be discussed, I will say, sentence by sentence, in some cases paragraph by paragraph. So I will stop here. See you in the next video. I hope this is not I hope it's a good content which may be useful for you. So thank you very much.